No, sir.
No? Why? Yesterday you took. Why not today?
Sir, just wake up.
Please take the medicine. We'll wait.
Yes, sir. It's okay. Fine. I'm feeling well, sir, now.
Okay. Thanks for joining, Rishabh. So we'll start. And the goal of today is I want to share about this reels, right? So essentially, I've never edited a reel. For the reel editing, maybe Rakesh can have a separate class for all of us here. But certainly about I am aware of what are the things which go into the preparation of a viral reel. Had there are quite a few things which we should know. First thing is what is the algorithm? Look, part of the algorithm, many people know on the Insta that what makes the Insta reel go viral, but certainly Insta will not divulge out its entire algorithm for us to know the complete inside out. Normally, how it works is this. So when we put out a reel, the reel is showed to our followers on our followers feed and to some of them, a small chunk of non-followers. Then let's say after next day also if we put again it is shown to a small chunk of followers and a small chunk of non-followers. Let's say the real number of non-followers are liking it or commenting on the reel. So in that case, the third day when we put a reel, the number of non-followers will be increased to whom the reel will be shown. So it is kind of, trial thing which Instagram keeps trying it out. So if it sees our reach is increasing, it will try to promote our reel more. Now, what is that metric? What is that benchmark based on which Instagram says that, hey, I want to show it to more number of non-followers now because I think that the reel has a potential to go viral. And by the way, why is Instagram interested in viral reels also? Any guesses? So Instagram is,
To get more numbers of engagement.
how
So
does
that,
an engagement help Instagram? Engagement is helping you and me.
yes, sir. But if I'm a new,
Just a, just
if
second.
I
Can I just
open,
take my tea? Just second. Just second.
okay, okay, sir.
Thank you. Yes, yes, Rakesh. Sorry to interrupt. Please continue.
So if I open a new account in Instagram, okay, and I'm creating reel, I'm creating reel. I'm also delivering value to that reel, so that in that case, Instagram push our reel with this algorithm, okay, and then I saw that if my post is getting um, uh, 10 to 20 likes or views, but in reels I can go through like 300 to 400, by which I am now creating more reels so that I can go to other audience also.
That is benefiting
So by
you.
the,
Why
yeah,
is
yes,
Instagram interested in?
yes, this is benefiting me, but in this way I'll spend more time in Instagram.
And yes, you
And
are
I am
nearing
delivering.
it.
I'm most time in more time in Instagram, and I am creating more reels in Instagram.
Very near. So you're almost there, Rakesh. So what happens is the more and more a reel goes viral, the more are the chances that, as you said, Rakesh, you will be spending more time on Instagram. And the more are the chances that Instagram can show you ads by
Yes.
virtue of which Instagram makes money. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So that is the reason Instagram also keeps working on its reel algorithms. Yeah. So now, what is that benchmark based on which Instagram says that, hey, now I need to show this particular reel to more and more people because I want people to stay engaged on my platform so that I can show them ads and make money. So what is that metric based on which Instagram decides? Any guesses?
Sir, can you say it again? I
What
don't
is
get it.
that metric? What is that measurement mark, right? What is that benchmark based on which Instagram thinks, yeah, that it should promote this particular reel to more and more people. So there are 10 reels to bet
I
upon.
think sir, one is engagement with a share button, one is like, comment, and the other one is that 5 second to 4 second views count.
Yes.
The number of views, as we can say that, not views, impression. If the impression is 100, the
Okay.
real impression is 100,
Mhm.
and 3 second or 5 seconds views of that reel is 50 to 60, then it will, I think, uh, promote.
Okay. That's also there. In fact, these are definitely the metrics. One of the other prominent metrics is for how long is the person watching the reel. So say the sorry for this. So say the reel is for 30 seconds and the person skips in the first 4 seconds. Then Instagram is not interested in promoting this reel. But let's say 100 people watch this reel till 15 seconds. It means that there is a chance that 50% of the reel is being consumed by 100 people. So there is a chance that if I show it to another 100 people, if 50% of the time of the reel will be consumed. So amount of time which a person spends upon watching the reel is also an important metric for making a decision to make the reel viral. Is it clear?
Yes, sir, now clear.
Great. All right. Now, some rules and guidelines are there in order to prepare a reel. And first of all, the do nots I'll share with you. What is the do not? So we should have zero dead space videos. What is a zero dead space video? Zero dead space video is something wherein there are not a lot of pauses. For example, in the class when I'm speaking, I take a lot of pauses to think, to find the right word, phrase to tell you, right? That should not be the case with the Instagram. We should have a script ready in front of us and we should be reading that out. Right? So that is pretty important. No dead space, zero dead space is the rule, first rule. Yeah. So no lot of pauses. Number two, we should not be talking very slow. This is not accepted on Instagram because everyone is there to consume things and no one is, and they want to consume a lot, right? So if they want to consume a lot, speaking very slow will not help that purpose. Will it? No, right?
No, sir.
So, right. So we don't have to speak slow on that, right? Also, one thing is there should be a the shots which we are shooting and the speech which we are seeing, they should be synchronous, right? So let's say I am speaking something about generative AI, and in the background I am showing an automotive car manufacturing process, right? Or I am promoting a medicine in my speech, and in the background I am showing an architecture, some kind of a building construction or an architecture activity. So these two are not in sync, and the person gets confused. And what happens is, as a result, next time once they look at our face or our reel, they immediately say, "Ah, this person, ah man, this he was boring last time. He's out of sync. He doesn't even know what he's promoting." So keeping in sync is equally important, right? So just remember this. Now, next guideline, we have to get to the point ASAP. We don't spend a lot of time thinking, okay, let's first talk about all the world and then we'll come to the point. No, there's not an R&D lecture. We will right away hit the point. So this is very, very important, right? So starting from say go, 3, 2, 1, go, we should hit the point. Next, we should be sticking to the niche. So we already know our niche. we can figure out different themes about the niche. That is certainly acceptable, right? Educational theme could be there, informational theme could be there, latest news theme could be there, some some findings could be there. Certainly, promotion has to be there. But we, being a generative AI guy, coach, if I start promoting something on the lines of history, right, something on the lines of political news, oh man, that's not gonna get digested well. Unless that political news is related to some national education policy, yes, makes sense. But otherwise, no. So having in sync, sticking to the niche is pretty important. Guys, though I have a notes which I have prepared, but I still prefer that all of you please note it down. Right.
Yes, sir.
Next. Now, what are the characteristics of a good video idea? So once we think that, okay, fine, we have to create a video, we know what we don't have to do in the video, but how should we find this video? What should be what's the characteristic of a good video? We have discussed it should stick to the niche. It should be relatable to the audience. Please note here, my friends, when we are preparing a reel, let's be very, very clear. The same thing which we had kept in mind while preparing the landing page, same thing, that rule applies. What was that rule? When we prepared the landing page, we were preparing the landing page with our specific audience in mind. I knew that there will be a bounce rate. I knew that the person who is not a parent, who is a student, who is a parent of a, let's say, toddler, they will look at this landing page and they will bounce off. Fine, accept it. But I am not going to tune my video idea for this audience who is a toddler parent, or for a student, or for some other, some other person who is not our audience. I'm okay for the bounce rate of those. But once a niche audience comes to my page, I want to keep them hooked for a very long time. Same rule, exact same rule applies over here. So there is a lot of similarity here. Now that we have spent some time on this social media. Tomorrow you'll be preparing YouTube, Pinterest, TikTok, I don't know, whatnot. Fundamentals will never change, gentlemen. It will never change. Fundamentals will remain the same. So once we are spending time to, say, create a content, the fundamental will say always keep your audience in mind. Don't worry about the bounce rate of non-niche guys. We have to worry about the bounce rate of niche guys. So video, in this case, it means that it should be relatable to the audience. Audience should be able to relate to this video. Right? All right. Second question is, second point is what the next characteristic is, it should be carrying some kind of a hook, right? So it should raise some kind of a question in the mind of the audience, right? And there are multiple ways to do it. One of the prominent ways, which I will discuss in some time, is called hook, right? So the video design should be in such a way that it raises some kind of a question in the audience. Normally, the flow part of the video, I will also touch upon that. Let's stick to this characteristic. Next, it should provoke emotional reactions from both the characters inside the video, if there are more than one, apart from the speaker who is speaking, or the promoter like me who is speaking. If there are more than one people, it should provoke emotional reaction from them, and it should also have the capability, the video should have the capability to evoke the emotional reaction from the audience as well. So this is what this particular characteristic video should have. Right? And this audience could, this emotion could be anything. It should be laughter, happiness, joy, anger, sad, repulsive. It could be anything, right? So one psychological thing I would like to mention over here, but we don't have to play that role always. And that thing is, normally, a negative fear, a negative reaction tends to attract more audience rather than a positive reaction. Please note this. This is a psychological fact. A fear will evoke more action or more emotions than happiness. And that is the reason you will see people, students, even when I was a student, even I'm a student today also. That is something which evokes the students to make them study last night before the exam more than they were not studying all the 90 days before the exam. But before the exam or before the interview date, they will be studying at the night. Right now, my kid is doing that, right? Because fear is playing a far more role in the mind of my kid, that what happens if I get less marks and all, right? So that does the play. But remember, we should not overdo this. So we should not have each video in order to get max emotions from the people. We should not try to carry each time a negative or negative reaction, a negative emotion. All right. In some videos, we can make it look unrealistic in the first glance itself, right? So just like the characteristic which I mentioned, that the video should raise questions. So if you make it unrealistic, naturally the video will raise some questions, right? The unrealistic thing could be anything. I mean, for example, let's say if I say that, hey, I mean, getting a job in the social media space is pretty important. If you can take up this crash course of 2 hours, right? So if I say getting a job in social media is pretty easy, if you watch this video till the end, oh man, is that like a 30-second video can give me a job in the social media? How come? Or getting good grades in school and excelling at extracurriculars is super easy if you stay with me till the end of the video. Oh man, what is this guy is going to do? This question immediately comes to the mind, right? What is going to happen in the next 30 seconds, which this guy is going to do, and my kid is going to get good grades in schools, extracurriculars, have good memory, etc., etc. Let me stay and watch. So this kind of a curiosity, making unrealistic thing claim, but not a false claim. Never ever a false claim. So I do ensure I know that my course has helped my kids, so it has the potential to help every other kid. So I am making that claim in the video. Stay with me till the end and you will know. And then I explain the next 20 seconds that, hey, we have got this course, that course has a bunch of very apt modules, very suitable modules, very effective modules, and how to use GenAI. All this stuff I will make this claim, and then towards the end I will say that yes, and this is how kids have made already. Kids are already learning. When are you planning to enroll? Towards them, right? So this is something which we should definitely make a note of. Now, about this one thing about this Instagram essentially even is that you have this both professional account and a creator account, right? Professional account and a personal account, right? So better to have work in the professional account and the Instagram and use the creator mode. Normally there are two modes in the professional. One is a business mode and other one is the creator mode. Now the business mode, it helps in keeping track of how my ads are performing, what are the business insights and all. While the creator mode helps me to try out a lot of other things, right? So it helps me to look at what's the kind of following versus non-following videos, what's the kind of trending ideas which are there. So all this is possible in creator mode because we want to seek inspiration. Human mind, ChatGPT, human mind can get some inspiration. We can discuss with ChatGPT, we can get more number of inspirations. What if we want to have a live proof that some videos are viral, and we want to take inspiration from them. Hey, let's look at the first 3 seconds in the hook. Let's look at the content engagement part. Let's look at the closing part. So there is a proof, there is a trend, there is already people who are making it viral. So in the creator mode, it gives us that flexibility to look at the trending ideas, right? So we should be using that creator mode to look at the trending ideas. And this is possible both in Instagram and, since we are mentioning video reels, on TikTok as well. So we can take a look at these trending ideas, and which are where the viral videos we can find, and we can analyze them. The research part is gonna stick with you guys for the rest of your life. The moment we decide that we'll be working in the marketing, whether it is social media marketing, whether it is offline marketing, research part is going to stay with you. Just slightly off the line. I have very close gentleman whom I know, and he is a political. I would call him a marketing gentleman only. And he does a lot of research as to which kind of voters are going to vote for this party in this area and all. And most of the time, his researches are very accurate. That's the reason he is much looked for in this political vicinity. The politicians ask him to come and visit their individual constituencies and get the research done, because he's very good at marketing over there, right? So this and he is 55, 56, and he in today's date he does research, right? He doesn't hand over this research part to anyone else. He does go on the ground morning, after the tea, after the breakfast. He goes, hits the ground, stays there till 7, 8 in the evening, and he loves doing research. So research is gonna stick with you guys. So let's start enjoying it. Yeah. Okay. Now, let's look at a few video ideas. So right now, till now, we looked at video characteristics, how to find like trending videos. Let's look at few video ideas. I mean, it's not a complete list which I'm providing to you. Some of them, which I can think of, which I had studied, I am providing it to you. One is a social interview. So wherein, you go, you see a group on anywhere, in the mall, in the street, in the college part, in a society, in your DMart, and you approach them and you ask a question to them, right? Which is certainly it has to be pre-scripted, and you have to think about the video idea beforehand. So video script beforehand. So characteristics and all. So you ask them a question, and then they respond, and then you make this as a part of your interview. So naturally, the immediate thing which comes in the mind is this social interview, which I call it social interview. This has to be during the beginning itself. It cannot be towards the end, because I'm asking the question. And remember, the good characteristic of a good video is it should evoke some kind of a question in the mind of the guy. What is this boy going to respond if this question is being asked to this guy in the street, to which the mic is being shown? What is he going to respond? What is that guy going to respond? So that curiosity you have already generated. So this is the social interview. Educational video, and a short video wherein we tell them about some content, certainly about the niche. Those things go without saying. They have to be there. And when I'm preparing something on the generative AI, my educational video has to be revolving around generative AI, and it should not go and touch upon history, civic, geography, right? So it has to be around that areas. Again, we have to make this educational video pretty interesting. So we have to clip out the theory part and all that, which we normally otherwise speak of during the regular courses. It has to be different from the course video, right? Remember this. Then you can have like the social interview, you can have a social skit, wherein there could be a few set of people who may be sitting around. Even you can have 2 of them, 3 of them discussing, and it is pre-scripted. So this is another idea. Then another thing is there could be some kind of news or latest news or some kind of an event which is happening. that is being played, and then you keep updating the viewers about that over a mic, or half of the video could be you speaking out about the event, and half of the video could be the event as it is panning out, and or the entire event could be there and your face only comes in the beginning and in the end. I mean, we can play around with that, right? This is just an idea that we can play out a recent news or event. Let's say Trump and Modi, they signed something very interesting on the AI and quantum computing. Yeah, that is worth putting it, yeah, because we
Sir,
want to tell.
mm,
Yeah,
something like is related to our niche area, means some big deal or something big revolution happen in our niche area, then we should have to prepare something for that, na sir?
perfect. For example, DeepSeek came recently, right? And it revolutionized everyone. Oh, what is this DeepSeek? What is this Chinese LLM? And that is again related to ChatGPT. So that has the potential to form a part of our reel. That's what you're trying to imply, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Good. Yeah. So that we are getting it correct. Uh, Next, other reels which I see of is people roaming around and and then they tell a story, right? So they may be in a train, in a queue of a airplane, on some travel, on some site, on some beach, on some mountain, and they will be telling around a story. That's also one way to do it. Then this thing is also I have found that if you want to show the tell, and that's what I have scripted also yesterday very briefly. That is like, do you know how does the life in the how do sorry do you know how does the day in the life of a person XXX look? Let me show you. So, for example, I have put, do you know how does the day in the life of a kid empowered with Gen AI looks? He has his work sorted out before breakfast. He has his PPT lined up. He has his speech polished, all this part. And then you guys, you will be editing and you will be adding a lot of those beautiful things in the background, or you'll be just putting that and my voiceover will be there. So that is something is again, I have seen that it can create, because what I did, do you know how does the life in the sorry, do you know how does the day in the life of a person look, this XXX kind of person look? So what I did, question, I made it in the mind of the audience, and this is what is the characteristic of a good video which we discussed, right? So this is what one idea, another idea which we can implement. Then we can challenge something in the video, right? We can challenge and we can say that, hey, this is the challenge I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna show you the experiment in the next 30 seconds. So that experiment may actually happen over a span of 3-4 days, but you just capture it all within 30 seconds and say this is what happened. So it can be a challenge, and followed by that we showcase the proof. So the credential the the credentials have to be met. The fact have to be shown. Another interesting thing which I saw, and not right now, but in the next sometime, I do have it on the cards now, is a series of video reels. It will not be a single reel. It will be a planned series of 30 reels for entire month. This month is a generative AI month for public speaking, for memory enhancement for the kids. And stay tuned. And we every day we add some value over there, right? So this is a series based thing can also be there. These are a few ideas which came to my mind and I'm sharing with you. As mentioned, this may not be exhaustive, but I have seen these kind of ideas making viral reels out there. So I have noted it down for you. So all of us here. Yeah. All right. Moving on. Now I would like to touch upon the framework which I have seen that it is common, right? Just a second. So I sought the help of my mentors, and also I watched a lot of videos. And here is the common three things which happen in a video. Viral video. So let's look at a framework of a viral video. We have a hook, which is the first 3 to 5 seconds of the video, wherein we induce some kind of a question in the mind of the audience. This hook can be visual, can be auditory, or can be both. Best is both. And that's what we will do. Remember, that's what we are going to do. See, we are going to make it auditory. So someone speaking as well as some kind of a visual, right? So that's something which you are going to do. And language I have seen in one of the videos, I see that the language was not very direct. Actually, it was referring to something and I was not able to comprehend. So I didn't even bother to watch longer. So even though it was having good content later on, but I didn't watch complete, right? Because the hook was missing and somewhere in the mind I was put off in the beginning itself, right? So, so please remember this, that a language doesn't have to be, oh man, he's like a, PhD in English from Oxford. Nope, not at all. He should be a very simple guy, 10th standard English, simple English, should be understandable, should be relatable by anyone on the street. Second is the next, after this first 3 to 5 seconds, we should start playing the substance. So let's say if we have put a question in the mind, now we start to introduce the substance and make it engaging, make it humorous. And this is where we play around with the emotions part also, right? A few strategies which I saw was, intentionally we do something wrong, we pronounce something wrong, and that is part of one of my scripts which I will give, but after you guys have given me the first 3 videos, because I want to look at how it is progressing. So there is a script which I have prepared wherein I am intentionally spelling something wrong. So what happens is, when you spell something wrong, now even if you are doing everything correct, people love to point out, hey, you were wrong there. So now they cannot speak to me while watching my video, but in the mind they note that, oh, hey, this guy spelled something or pronounced something wrong. Let me stick with him. There must be some more mistakes. So let me see. So something like that, yeah. So that you essentially caught the attention by pronouncing something wrong, by spelling out something wrong. Remember to ensure that this is not a serious mistake, serious credibility mistake, because we cannot afford to tell a wrong fact about our niche, and we have lost the audience for sure, for sure. Okay, so while these are interesting points, while these are proven points which works, we have to exercise them with caution. Remember this. So it helps actually to always get your script verified with someone before you even roll it out in the video. Yeah, before you spend some time recording it. Always helps to have another pair of eyes to get this thing done. So whenever you are working in this company, let's say if you take up as a freelancer, at least you will have your friend, right? You will have someone in your family to speak and look at it. Hey, I'm planning like this. I'm planning to introduce a intentionally wrong thing. What impact do you think this is going to have? If there is anything which is higher than a scale of 3 on a scale of 1 to 10, if it has, let's say that this could have an impact higher than 3, remove that. Remove that. Okay, so do ensure this. Then we can ask, actually, do ensure also, we should try to see in some of the posts, we can ask people to, hey, now this is the time to comment on the post. What do you think? Now this is the, what do you think? Let's save this post for your future purpose. For example, if you are planning out an educational series, save this post, and you will be, and at the end of the 30 days, you will be a very good public speaker. So some kind of an CTA, we tell them, comment on the post, right? So this is something which we add during the substance. So what's the end then? We say what is called a payoff, right? So first is the hook, second is the engaging substance, and third is the payoff. In the payoff, in the payoff, we tell them that, hey, now that you know that we have how we achieved this, our claim, let's say we made a claim in the beginning, then we tell them that, hey, how does the day in the life of a AI empowered kid looks like, da 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 da. We tell them his work is sorted, this is sorted, that is sorted. And then is the payoff time, wherein I tell them that now I have already satisfied your curiosity. How does the day look like? Do you want it in your for your kids as well? Get enrolled in the webinar. So it's a payoff time, right? So I now tell them that there is some, while I have satisfied your curiosity, there is a CTA also here, right? Remember this. Sometimes you will see here are the 5 best things to do while you are in Lucknow. So let's say if we are putting that out over there, then we put all that. Charminar is there, right, in Lucknow. What's that? I'm missing that. Beautiful architecture is there. Anyway, the food is awesome.
Sir,
So
Imambara.
Imambara, yes, Imambara is there. Yes, correct, correct. So Imambara is there, and so then you try out the food here, the street food here. There is this milk ka ek special cheese aata hai. Definitely don't miss it. All these 5 things we can mention. There is this Hathi ka garden, elephant garden is there. So these 5 things, while you, here are the 5 things in the beginning, 5 things which you should do. Oh, okay. What are the 5 things? Immediately the question has come in the mind. You have not raised the question. You are saying, here are the 5 things you should do while being at Lucknow, in Lucknow. Question is now in my mind. What are the 5 things? Perfect, job done. Next, I tell the 5 things as the substance. Towards the end, then if I have something to add, great. If it was just an informational video, stay hooked for the next video, and or save this video for your next action while you are here. So something like this, we put that towards the end, because ultimately we are preparing the video for our benefit. While we want the audience also to benefit, I have my interest also at play, right? And for my interest to pan out well, I want to share something well. Okay, so let me first complete the sentence. So for my interest to pan out well, I have to ensure that I occupy some part of the video. I occupy some space in some part. I occupy some space in the video for my personal interest, for promoting my personal interest. It may not have direct right away someone paying off for something. I make a plea to buy something. No, it's a slow thing. Okay, so if a mall gets opened 5 kilometers from here, I may not buy something today, but now it is registered in my mind. I have my kid's birthday coming 6 months down the line. After 6 months, I may go. But if I don't have the information that there is a mall next 5 kilometers away, I may still be going to the mall which is 10 kilometers away, right? So getting registered is important. Now, uh, uh, here is actually one important thing. Look, I didn't note it using the pen, and I have this notebook. I didn't note, and this flow slightly went off. So I was mentioning, I think, about this about our personal interest occupying in this ad, or in this video. And look, my train of thought has taken a dip there. Once I remember this, I will touch upon this. I'll touch upon this, the part which I have missed to say. It was a generic concept which I wanted to share with you.
Okay,
All
sir.
right, moving on. Now, let's look at focus on our first 5 seconds, because what makes a viral hook? What is the metric? Remember, we discussed that the metric is people should be watching it for a long period of time. For people to watch it for a long period of time, naturally they should first watch the first 3 to 5 seconds. Then only they can go to the 6th, 7th, 8th second. So if my first 3 seconds have to be super duper catchy, and how do we make the things catchy? We make the things catchy by latching on to the emotions of the person who is watching it, because it's not a robot who is going to watch it. And here is one idea which comes to me, that would you know how will ChatGPT react if I play out the same ad in front of him compared to a human, and then I can have some ad rolled out, right? And we ask ChatGPT in one part of the thing. I ask ChatGPT that what is your feeling, and then I ask a human. So essentially, we are humans. We are going to show the ads to the humans, And that is the reason we want that the emotions to be latched to our video as part of the hook. So as I was discussing, it could be positive as well as negative emotions, but we have to latch upon them. So this is the first characteristic of a great hook. Latch on the emotions,
So
positive or negative.
yes, we can create a series like ChatGPT versus human.
Great idea. Great idea. Please think more on that. Discuss, brainstorm with the Reels team. I will include you, Rishabh. I have not included you in the Reels group. I will include you today. So let me note it down.
Thank you, sir.
Right. So you guys can brainstorm. You guys can have a separate Gmeet session, or if you want, uh, I can hold a Zoom session wherein you guys can brainstorm. We can record that. All right. Next is has naturally, as I said that once we are capturing, latching onto an emotion, after that, we should have some kind of a question triggered in the mind of a person. Like as I said, here are the 5 things you should do while at Lucknow. So question is there in my mind now. What are the 5 things? Or do you know that do you know that a kid, do you know that your kid can perform 10x better just if you can stay with me for the next 30 seconds? Oh, really? How? So some kind of a question has to be triggered. I have also seen some of the video reels which have gone viral. They using some kind of the word like what the fuck and all that. But what the heck, right? Uh, but there are some good things also which we can use. So instead of, because those lines will not go out well actually, yeah. So those are latching on to the emotions. Uh, but let's try to have some kind of good things also in our mind. We can do good work with good things without the need of these words. So we can say, hey, laugh out loud. I'm going to share a joke, and if I don't make you laugh in the next 30 seconds, delete me from your list. Oh, really? Again, a question is there in my mind. Is he really going to make me laugh out loud? Or you just say something and then you tell, now is the time to laugh out loud. Or you yourself claim something. Hey, isn't that interesting? You say something, make a claim, isn't that interesting? Or you yourself acknowledge it. You say, that's interesting. We can also say something like, let's go and understand how the chat GPT was made in the first place. Oh, the question now is there in my mind. Really, how the chat GPT was done? And you are inducing an emotion with some kind of an action. Let's go and do something. So something like that. Laugh out loud. I'm going to tell you something interesting. So there is something which is keeping you hooked. Remember these. There could be some kind of you can break the regular frame actually, and you can claim that some as I was mentioning that you can claim something which is not, which is kind of breaking the pattern. Normally, I will have a thought process, and the thought process is say that kids can go to school and only then they can learn. I mean, are you guys aware of homeschooling, by the way?
Yes, sir.
Very good, yeah. I was not aware of it big time for a long time. And then one of my friends introduced. So there is, and this is a clear pattern disruption. During my days, when I was your age, or even younger than you guys, in 1995, when I was passing out 10th standard, if someone would have claimed that to my parent that, hey, I mean, come on, keep your kid at home, educate them at home, they can still do it, they can still excel. That would have been a pattern disruption. How can you say that? For decades, for centuries, we have been sending kids to the school, to the gurukuls and all. So that kind of a pattern disruption, breaking the train of, breaking the regular frame, is something if we can do, that is again something which can catch the attention, right? And that can form the part of a great hook. Then I saw in one of the videos actually aligning with the 8 human desires. And then the person was mentioning about the desires, but mostly I have captured all of this over here, so I'm not mentioning it again. So any of the desires, it could be related to your money, hope, happiness, or any of the desires which you have, right? If we can latch into that, great. Then a lot of videos which I've seen, which have gone viral, they start with something like this: the biggest moment of history has arrived, and then they mention about some kind of an event. uh, we can do similar things. The biggest moment of history is here: the launch of a generative AI course comprising AI, memory, lateral thinking, Edward Debord, so many things. We can do something like this. The most important time of history is now. So it's like we are going into the extreme. It's called leaning into the extreme, meaning to say we tell them something about the biggest, the smallest, the scariest, the costliest, the cheapest, the most important, the least important. So extremes, right? The words themselves: biggest, smallest, scariest, most. Uh, well, I mean, any of these extremes, we can latch upon. Costliest, cheapest. So any of these est kind of thing, right? The extremes we can latch on. We can include that in the first 3 to 5 seconds, right? Another sample hook which I saw and this caught my attention was, uh, the hook was, "You will never believe what they said. You'll be surprised at what happens next." These are some ideas which I had noted down and I thought I will share with you. Okay. Now, while we have discussed the ideas, characteristics of a great hook, or I'll say great viral hook, let's look at a few different type of hooks. So audio, visual, we discussed already, right? I have also observed that during the hook, okay, if we have a lot of quick cuts, when I say quick cuts, one picture, as soon as I see the first picture, while I have consumed it, there is not a second to be lost, not even a fraction of a second to be lost. I show the next picture, third picture, fourth picture. So in the span of 5 seconds, I would have shown them 5 to 6 pictures. And each of them, certainly, they have to align. They have to be aligning with what the person is speaking out. So quick cuts, I call it quick cuts, is something which we can have. Another type of hook is listicles, as I said, like the top 5 things to do. Okay, so I call them listicles. The most extremes, tapping onto the desire, right? Most expensive, least expensive, like that. Then asking a taboo question, very, very normally, which you would not normally ask. For example, you'll not ask a woman about her age or a man about their salary, but you can still, try to do something. Uh, for example, let's say, I mean, the other day there was a very big car actually, which was standing, which was there, and my son really liked that car, and the owner was not there, so he went there and he said, "Papa, please click for me." So I clicked him, and immediately that guard was there. So I mean, just as a matter of curiosity, like, whose car is it and all. What does he do for this kind of getting this kind of a car? So he was smiling and all, right? So this kind of a question, even without asking the salary, you can certainly ask, right? So this will only evoke smile, or this will only pat the ego of the person. I mean, most of the time, people who have earned this kind of thing, they will have some kind of an ego, mostly, right? So you just pat their ego, massage their ego. Hey, what kind of work do you do? A lady, you can say, for example, a taboo question, right? Hey, what do you do to become so, still young at this age? If we don't call young at this age, otherwise we are pissed off. We tell them something else, right? Hey, I mean, I really like, and I want to share this with my wife. So would you like to share, like, what kind of a fragrance you are wearing? So that would be kind of a taboo question, but also not a bad question. Right? So in the case of generative AI, we'll have to think more, like what kind of taboo question we can ask of, and we can seek the help of inspiration, as we said, and ChatGPT. We can also, I have seen that some kind of a shocking thing, some kind of a really, when I say shocking thing, I am actually speaking to some kind of an event. This could be physical event. This could be political event. DeepSeek is one such event. This could be a physical event like a lightning strike, right? This is how lightning struck, and this is how ChatGPT is going to strike and make a big difference in the life. So in the background is this lightning strike, and you actually create a sense of awe, right? A sense of shock in the mind of the audience. And that is one way to one type of hook, again another type of hook. Then a controversial opinion, as we discussed, a totally different opinion, but ensure when we try these things which are slightly out of the league, like taboo questions, controversial opinions, we should be double sure that we are not actually going to end up into a controversy ourselves, or we should not put at stake our credibility, right? So mild controversial opinion would be definitely helping out. Then we can also, something which I think will work out well for us also is we call out the niche in the beforehand itself, that this is for the beginners, right? For example, the next course which I intend to do is AI for college guys, right? Like I did last year for DSA for college guys. So this I will say is for the college pass out. So anyone who is watching, in the first 2 seconds or 3 seconds, they know that whether they are gonna stay with me or not. And if he is a college student, he's gonna stay with me because I've called out his niche. So calling out the niche is again very powerful type of hook. Another hook which I had seen is, and this is nowadays I've seen it's getting more common, that the first 1 second or 1.5 second you carry a viral video hook, some kind of an event which is already viral. Okay, you pick that thing from the event and then you follow it up. For example, one of the events I saw was a guy was punching someone in the face on a karate mat, and so this was a proper fight going on, and the video showed that the guy is punching on the face, and the real video then starts after 1.5 seconds, where we have our actual speaker who is showing that, hey, who is acting like he just got punched, and then from there he starts speaking about himself and his product, right? So this is another way wherein we pick something from somewhere else and we start continuation over here. Optionally, that also gave me an idea that we can also, add part of the engaging content of an existing video. Why just in the beginning? So in the somewhere mid also we can add something, and people are doing it actually. Okay. Now based on that, essentially I have prepared essentially a cheat sheet for the chat GPT prompt. So once you guys prepare the presentation, so for today, Rishabh, you are supposed to prepare the presentation and try to capture only one point in one slide. So there will be a lot of slides, maybe 50, 60 slides. Don't worry about the numbers. Just one slide per point. And even if you're not putting any pictures, I'm okay. Try to put some kind of a black background, and on that with white, not white or green text, you try to put it. That will make it very good.
Okay, sir.
So PPT is with you, Rishabh. And that concludes my session for today for viral video reels, how to create the hooks, substance, etc. And any questions?
Rishabh, I want to ask you something. Hello.
Yes, sure. Ask.
Did you aware of any editing software?
Yes, I have used VN, and
Yeah.
it is same as like CapCut,
Yes,
but
yes,
it's easy to use and it's free. And I'm yes, it is.
yes.
And I have used Canva as well, and I'm using both things, both of apps. Like I made reels from Canva and put that